allow me share my screen with you so that we can get on to the presentation. So good morning once more. So I'll take you through the introductory part this morning on the ODEL system. As Prof has already mentioned, I'm Dr. Epila Jackie, Faculty of Education. So this training has been running from Tuesday 8th until today, which is 11th September. So the next slide now is going to be the overview of the training program. I'll leave it here for 2 minutes for you to peruse through, but I will just briefly highlight what is in the program. So from 9 a.m. to 9:30 is an overview of the e-learning, why ODEL, requirements and resources for e-learning, and becoming a successful learner. Then from 9:30 to 10 a.m., it will be accessing and using e-library resources. That will be the library section taking you. So Mr. Ronald will take over from there. Then from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., we have a Q&A session. So you can interact with us at that point. You post in your questions. We'll avail the answers that we have. Then after that, we'll take a 30-minute break, a coffee break. Yeah, it's called coffee break. So you can take just a 30-minute break, whichever break you want. Then we resume at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the active learning. That is logging into Luele, the Lira University e-learning environment, which has been branded the B, simply meaning the Beacon e-learning environment. You'll be able to search for content posted, and then you learn using Zoom. Then from at 1 o'clock, we'll again take a lunch break. Then we will resume from 2 to 4, where I'll take you through assessment, how to access and take assessment, that is discussion forums, assignment, test, exams, to mention but a few. You'll also learn how to upload and download your assignments, as well as your projects if you have. So I'll just leave this screen for 1 more minute for you to look through before I move on to the next part. So I believe you've internalized the program, so we're going to the next part. So my presentation today will start from here. So the question to you is that you would like to know is what stimulated the adoption of e-learning? Why are we being forced to go to the ODEL sort of system? Now, there was an outbreak of COVID-19, all of you are aware of, and it came as a surprise to many of us globally and also locally. Now, learning institutions just like Lira University had to close, and students or children and youth, especially from sub-Saharan countries, and also the world over, were forced to stay at home and postpone their studies as a measure to curb the spread of the pandemic. That's according to UNESCO 2020. Now, this impacted over 1 billion students in over 230 countries. Now, while institutions in sub-Saharan countries like us remain closed, those in developed countries have continued to study online. Now, this experience has made Uganda, through the National Council of Higher Education, to consider a shift to the open distance and e-learning, which is abbreviated the ODEL system. Now, this is just an emergency teaching and learning approach that we will adopt in a higher education institution like Lira University. Now, you'd ask yourself, what is open learning? Now, open learning has many other words that you could use to describe it. It can be termed as active learning, it can be didactic learning, operational learning, lifelong learning, authentic learning, or distance learning. Now, this type of learning emerged in the 1970s, and it is based on independent, personal initiative rather than formal classroom instruction. Now, it is based on the needs of you, the learner, as perceived by you, the learner. So the characteristics of the open learning are namely autonomy, diversity, openness, interactive, and connectivity. So you will require some bit of connectivity to be able to engage in this form of learning. Now, you'd ask yourself, what is distance learning? It's simply a method of delivering instruction solely online. The next question would be, what is open distance learning? Now, this is a form of study away from the accredited institution like Lira University, where the time of teaching and learning is separated and the institution prepares study materials in advance. Just like right now, I'm presenting this PowerPoint to you. So I've prepared it and I'm presenting it to you. This is what now the open distance should now be getting a feel of it. Now, the prepared material containing assignments are available to the students who are instructed to complete and deliver to the teacher. Now, right now, at the end of the day, you'll be able to do certain assessments and you will deliver to me, but this time through online. But there are other modes of delivery. You could do it through telephone calls, printed materials, recorded audios, podcasts, video calls, or even conferencing. You could have online platforms where you could discuss or send a reply to me. You could also do it through the radio or TV or even the email. By now, I believe all of you have our university email. So those are the different media that we will use, or modes of communication that how we will get you, the channels of communication. Now, the advantage of this form of learning is that it does not require the presence of the teacher, and it caters for a two-way communication. Right now, I'm communicating with you, and you are able to also communicate with me. So this is the two-way learning we're talking about. Moreover, it embraces both the synchronous, which is real-time live, like right now, this is synchronous learning, or the asynchronous mode, which is those of you who miss this online training right now that is happening live, you're able to access a video later on. I would also encourage you to visit our Lira University Facebook page, where right now, for those of you who are not in the live session or within this code that we are training now, you could also access us on Facebook. Now, asynchronous is a form of learning which simply means the student accesses information at leisure, at your own free time, but yet you could meet the teacher or the instructor once a week or a month for a face-to-face discussion, or for tutorials, or for practical sessions for those that have practical related courses, or online through video conferencing. The next question is, what is e-learning or online learning? So this type of, it's an all-inclusive learning, it is flexible, and it is based on formalized teaching with the help of electronic resources. Right now, you are using whichever gadget you have, and it is electronic. So that is why you're now participating in this form of learning, which is now coined e-learning. Now here, teaching can be in and out of the university, like Lira University, but the use of computers and the gadgets that you have and the internet are a must. So if you don't have those, it is very difficult to engage in e-learning. So those are the things that you should know. Now, accordingly, the study material is delivered online. This can be live or recorded. Now, live is the synchronous and the recorded is the asynchronous. Now, this form of teaching encourages a two-way communication. I've already iterated that before, between the communities and the learners, that's you, the learners and us, and among yourselves. Now, besides, support staff does exist. Apart from personal tutors that exist to provide you with academic expertise and guidance and feedback, and also other things, you also have the help desk service. Now, there's a help desk that will be ICT-based and as well as library-based. So if you have a problem with accessing certain things, you can contact IC. If you need, say, ebooks, you can contact the library. They will be able to guide you on that. The next thing is that, what's the fuss all about e-learning? Now, this is now where we get into the heat of things, the nitty-gritties. Now, Lira University as an institution is going to adopt the blended learning model. Now, it will be a mixture of the traditional face-to-face, which is brick and mortar, and then the technology-based, that is the e-learning component. So it's going to be a merger of those two. And the mind map on your left clearly gives you the basic concepts and everything entailed in blended learning. It is wide, it could be online, like we're doing right now. It could be classroom, it could be face-to-face, it could be research that you need to go and look up for yourself. So we'll be giving you links. You'll be able to upload, download. Technology will be a prerequisite. You need to know the basics of computer. You need to be skilled on the basics. Moreover, language, you have to know the appropriate language to use. You cannot just, there are ways that you interact when you're learning online. So this mind map gives you, in a nutshell, what you would expect. The first model that most of your instructors may use could be the face-to-face driver model. Now, this model targets those who are either exceptionally good or weak. Now, the teacher delivers most of the curriculum and assigned works on a digital platform and supervises the progress. Now, in general, only some students will participate in online learning components as follows. Now, students at a mastery level above their grade level may proceed at a more rapid pace. Now, this prevents boredom by providing the appropriate challenge for these highly capable students. You could have a very intelligent person in class, and if you give them something so basic, they'll get bored. They'll finish it in a second and get bored. Now, students who are at a mastery level below their grade are given appropriate skills remediation in an effort to accelerate their learning. Now, and the beauty of this online learning is that they're able to get all of the practice that they will need to master the skills and to devise their own techniques that help to improve your memory and retention. Right now, we're going to train you, and you will see some of you are fast learners and some of you are slow. So some of you may be ahead of others, but don't worry. But at the end of the session, this training, you will all be at the same pace. Then we also have the rotation model. The image is presented on the left-hand side. Now, this model focuses on using learning stations, exposing students, that is you, to a range of instruction types and kinds of coping. This is just really a variation of the traditional learning station model that we've always been using for many years. You've even experienced some of these models in class. There is a set schedule by which students have face-to-face time with their teachers or the instructors, and then move on to online work. It gives the teachers the chance to provide study with different digital and non-digital activities. So you can see, you can be either in a small group, that's the first one, then you can go to a much smaller group work, and then you can move to a collaborative project where you discuss among yourselves, and then you shift to the online station. Another model is called the flex model. Now, this model relies on internet instructional delivery, with teachers acting as the facilitator rather than the primary deliverers of instruction. Now, this model is used in institutions with a high number of at-risk students. Right now, there is COVID-19, the disease that is ravaging the world. So this is also a model that we could adopt. Now, it emphasizes online content delivery, just like I'm giving you right now. For most parts, lessons remain in the classroom, but become a blended learning environment. Students spend most of their time receiving individualized instruction through online resources and adaptive software. Then we also have the online lab school model. Now, this is just a depiction of an illustration of one of our labs here at Lira University. Now, this model involves the students, that's you, traveling to and attending at, say, Lira University with total online education delivery for the entire course sometimes. That's if it's not basically practicals. Now, it accommodates students who need to work at an adjusted pace, but it cannot function in all universities. Now, you would need some, like a computer lab to be able to function in this format. If it's not there, you're unable to have this sort of online lab school model. Now, students will learn purely online, and there is no certified teacher on hand. So you will not have your lecturer present with you, but you'll have some trained professionals who will help supervise you and navigate you through our learning platform. Then we have the SelfBlend model. Now, this model allows coursework beyond that offered in the traditional setting of a specific university. Now, students participate in the traditional class like you will do, but then you enroll. Say if you're slow at typing, you need to work out you need to do certain tutorials to up your speed. Now, this model appeals to students who want class out of their learning institution. You could sign up for an online course or simply just practice. Now, gifted and driven students tend to gravitate towards this model. So you must have those traits. You must be gifted and driven. So this model is particularly beneficial for students who are highly motivated. You should ask yourself, are you really motivated? What level of motivation do you have? And you must be an independent learner. The next is the online driver model. Now, this model is the complete opposite of the traditional face-to-face instruction environment. It is similar to online lab school learning, and the model focuses completely on instruction through the internet and generally resonates with independent learners. So these are the traits. You're now supposed to pick up some of these traits: independence, motivation, you should be driven. Now, students work from remote locations, just like you're doing right now. You could be in your home, in your office, and the compound, even within the confines of the university, who knows? And you receive all your instruction through our online platform. Now, for now, it's called Lira University e-learning platform, but it is branded the B, as you will see shortly. Now, usually there are opportunities to check in with the course lecturer or to engage in online messaging if explanation is needed. Face-to-face is not usually required as students work from remote locations. Now, students are digitally oriented. They understand the potential for success that blended learning may offer them and are excited about the opportunity that blended learning offers them. I'm excited, really excited. I think you are excited too. So there are certain requirements and resources that you would need for e-learning. Now, I've broken them down into 4 different sections. The first is the method of delivery of the theory. Now, students should have laptops. Most of you, I think, do have. You should have desktops or even a smartphone. That's how most of you are able to communicate with us right now or link up with this training. Now, if you have a laptop, you should have a much recent operating system, be it Windows, Mac, or Linux. You should have a certain amount of RAM on your device. You should be able to access high-speed internet. You should have an antivirus software on your laptop, because once you go online, there are so many bugs that will infest your laptop. So you need a ware that will protect you from this harmful ware on the internet. You should also have office programs that will help you have access to your Word documents, your Excel spreadsheets, your PowerPoints. You could also have speakers and headphones to help you amplify the sound in case the sound from your device is low, or you could have headphones to block out sound that is coming from outside as you're in class. You should also have a webcam. That's how you're able to view me right now. You could even have a device that has a CD or a DVD drive. You never know, you may be availed a CD to see how practicals are done. And if you don't have such things, you may not be able to access and see what is there. Another thing, you should have also an external hard drive or a flash disk to store some of this information that is being given to you online. You could also record the session. You could have a recorder and record so that you can, if it helps you learn better, you could also use that. Now, the lectures will be both live and asynchronous. So the live lecture is the synchronous, and the one that is recorded is the asynchronous one. Now, online lectures last 45 to 1 hour. So you shouldn't think that, oh, it's only going to be an hour. No. After this hour is up, there are certain tasks that you are presented with. You may be given a quiz. You may be forced to go to a discussion forum where you have to have a certain number of responses before the instructor marks you as someone who has completed what has to be done. You may have assignments that need handing in within the hour. So it is not that short. It is just that you will have more. Now, this entails us, the lecturers, packaging theoretical content that is really complete and rich and smart. It could be in the form of a PowerPoint presentation. It could be a video like you will see later on. It could be quizzes. It could be assignments. It could be discussion forums. Even reference links could be given to you to go and later on do certain research as required by your instructor. Now, there is also methods of delivery of practicals. Now, it will be a combination of face-to-face and online practical sessions. You may also have videos or interactive CDs on experiments and online tutoring. Now, at all times, COVID-19 SOPs should be adhered to. I hope right now you're socially distanced, you've washed your hands, you're wearing a mask if you're in a crowd. You should also have personal protective equipment. It's PPE. It's a common abbreviation. I think most of us know what it is now. You should have gloves, even a lab coat, to mention but a few. Now, field attachments, internships, or even industrial trainings and school practice could probably be in a virtual format, say a virtual school practice. Students could also have to present or teach on the radio or TV, and you are marked by your supervisor. Now, these are the different methods of delivery of the practical. There could even be more. They are yet to be explored. Now, the method of theory and practical assessment, I should really emphasize here, because so many questions come from this part. I would ask you to listen attentively. Now, you will have a combination of assessments. It can be self, which could involve the quizzes. It could be formative, which could be through a discussion forum, or a summative assessment. This captures everything. It can be through online coursework assessment. It could be group work presentations. It could be objective, short answer, or essay type questions, or even exams. There's an array of different modes of assessment. Or the final exam, as I've highlighted it, it's even in red and bold. The final exam will be done at the university or at a satellite exam center. For example, like the way they do it for the TOEFL and GMAT. Now, you could be asked to go to a church, a hospital, or a lab in an area that is closest to you, the student. Now, at all times, we always emphasize COVID-19 SOPs must be adhered. Now, we also have, as an institution of Lira University, we have an academic information management system that ensures that assessment marks are digitally available to you on your student platforms. Now, you need certain available resources and infrastructure to be able to engage in this form of learning. Now, I've already mentioned we have our platform, the B, and this also accommodates a two-way communication, like I've already explained, that caters for teacher-student interaction, student-student interaction, teacher-student or desktop or desk help interaction. At the help desk can help you troubleshoot your problems. We could also have WhatsApp groups. We could have Facebook groups. We could also have university. The email is key. I hope all of you access your email at least every day. You could also do it through chats. Now, there are also course resource ebooks. My colleague Ronald is going to take you through that shortly, where he will take you through how to access certain ebooks, e-resources, publications, and all that, and how to cite, how to upload, download, and various things. Now, lectures are going to be recorded. For those who miss, you have the chance of accessing that recorded lecture. It will not be live, but you will still get the content delivered. There is also this anti-plagiarism called Turnitin. It will be installed on our software. It's already installed on our platform. So if you go to the internet and browse and copy paste someone's work and come and upload it on the platform as your assignment, you will get caught. So those are the repercussions. You have to, whenever you use someone's work, you always reference, you cite the person, whoever you've copied from, you cite. You say Epila et al. 2020 or Ronald et al. 2013. Depends on the year that the publication was. So that is just to guide you. Now, the next thing is that how you may want to ask yourself, how can I be successful with this form of study? Now, the first trait that you should have is persistence. You should be persistent all the time. Now, tolerate technical problems. Along the way, you may get a technical problem. You don't have to frown about it. You have to be persistent. You say, okay, I have this problem. How will I solve it? That means you have to seek help when you need it. Now, you work daily on every class. Try to be as active as possible on this platform. You should learn to persist through challenges. When you run into a challenge, keep trying. And if you fail, ask for help. Set up a manageable study schedule for yourself and stick to it. Students who succeed are those who log in and make progress every day. The second trait I expect out of you is to be effective time managers. You must be able to manage your time well. Most courses are not taught in real time. There are no set times for class, but here it will be in real time. So those who will access the lecture at a later time, you kind of have that freedom. You do not have time for classes, but you must endeavor to try to access the material given and go through it so that you're also prepared for the next class. Now, this flexibility is one of the great benefits of online learning, as most of you will know. Most of you on this group, the training group today, you may be weekend or day. Now, your weekend you may not need to attend a weekend class because you could sit in your office and do it online on a weekday. Take a break and then you're in class. Now, effective time management skills don't just happen. It is learned. So you have to do it yourself. You will not expect your teacher or your instructor to make you an effective time manager. That's not possible. It is self. Now, review the syllabus for each of your courses on a daily basis, or even at the beginning so that you're prepared for the challenges ahead. Understand what the course entails, what is required from your side, what is required from the instructor side. That way you're up to date and you're able to ask constructive questions or helpful questions that will help guide you through the course. Now, you should develop a long-term plan for completing your major assignments. Make a daily to-do list. Have fun checking things out. If you have succeeded in logging onto the platform, tick it off and say, wow, I can now log in. Oh, I'm able to upload. Those are things that motivate you. Now, it takes time to develop good habits. You will gain satisfaction from being a well-organized and accomplished individual when it comes to doing your tasks. The third trait I would expect from you is to have effective and appropriate communication skills. Now, communication skills are vital for this online learning because students must seek help when they need it. Teachers are willing to help you, the students, but they're unable to pick from the nonverbal cues such as a confusing face. If I frowned like right now, you wouldn't know what I'm frowning about. So that's what they're talking about here. Now, use the tools provided by the university to communicate to the teachers. You have emails. You have even we have a Facebook platform. You can go and type in your query or comment at that point. Then we will be able to address you. And also we have contacts. There are contact links on our platform. You can either contact the university directly or you can contact the ICT. You can contact the library. They'll be able to help you. Now, many online learning institutions and programs provide several ways for students and parents to communicate with staff. Now, this might include email, like I've already mentioned. It could be even a discussion group within the platform. It could be a chat room within our platform. It could be via telephone call. You could just call. And I've highlighted here, you should also like our Facebook page to get updates on what's going on. You could even text us through a message, an SMS. Now, teachers and staff want to help you succeed in your class and will answer your questions. It may feel awkward to talk with your teacher this way, but don't worry, this is now the new normal. Now, if your teacher has chat room hours or a cell phone office hours, don't be shy. Chat with them or give them a call with regards to the thing you never understood in the course. They'll be able to give an answer for that. Now, you should use an appropriate style and language for the university. When communicating with your teachers and other staff, you should write in full grammatically correct sentences and with a respectful tone. Many students are used to a very informal style of writing in chat rooms or blogs or even texting and so forth. So you must watch out for that. Now, because of the distance, it is tempting for some students to say things out of anger or frustration that they wouldn't say normally if you were doing it face to face. Now, online teachers are professionals. Treat them with the respect and courtesy that they deserve. The next trait that I want to emphasize that you should have some basic technical skills. Now, online learners need basic technical skills to succeed. For success, you need the basics. Now, these include the ability to create new documents. Are you able to make a Word document of your own? A PowerPoint presentation? Are you able to convert your Word document to a PDF? Are you able to use word processing programs? Are you able to navigate the internet and download software, run it on your PC or install it? Are you able to do some of those? If you're unable to, you should try to practice now or ask someone who knows. Now, most online learning institutions orient their students. We are now orienting you to our platform. Now, we simply will teach you how to use the university's learning management system today, as you will see, and other online tools that you may use, especially library will emphasize where you can go and navigate the internet to get certain resources that you will need to support your study. Now, if you lack basic computer skills, you may want to find an online tutorial. There are many of them. You can just go on YouTube and look for a tutorial to guide you. You will also want to ask the university help desk for the hardware and software that is required for your device or that is required for this sort of training, and make sure that your own gadget meets those requirements. I encourage you to do that because some of you along the way from Tuesday to now, we've realized some of you may claim we can't hear, we can't do this. It may be your device that has a problem or also your internet connection. So you should check into some of those. The next is reading and writing skills. Reading and writing are the main ways you communicate through an online class. Although you may have hard copies of textbooks, you should be comfortable reading a lot of documents on your computer screen. And you should also be able to type. Now, some tests and quizzes have multiple choice questions, but many of your assignments will involve short or long answer questions. Now, if you type less than 25 to 30 words per minute, it may be worth your while completing a typing software program. But in my case, I would just encourage you to practice typing, practice texting. The same speed with which you respond on your WhatsApp group or on a Facebook post is the same speed you should use when you're online studying. Now, you also need to be a self-motivated person. You should also be independent. Now, to be successful, to be successful and to be able to succeed, it will require your independence, your internal motivation. You must be responsible and at a certain level of maturity. You should act mature. You're now at the university. You should have some level of maturity. Have you even given a thought to your own personal reasons for attending the university? Have you ever asked yourself, why am I here? Are you determined and self-motivated to succeed in the university? There are many worthwhile reasons to work hard. You might want a greater level of professional success a personal satisfaction with your future career, that's one. Or perhaps it's personal pride in your accomplishments. You may be the first in your village to actually get a degree. That could also be your drive. Or maybe you are seeking a wider range of opportunities available to you with higher education or higher income. Those are some of the things the things that should be motivating you. You know why you're here. So that answer, it's just a question open out for you guys there to answer and ask yourselves, why am I here? And give the reasons. If you know the reasons why you're here, then you're able to peruse through this sort of learning with ease. And the next is a good study environment. Now, another critical component for academic success is your study environment. Get some peace and quiet. You will need a quiet place without distraction from things like the television, family, roommates, even gossiping. Avoid games. Consider uninstalling any computer games to avoid temptation. or keep the games on a different computer. I bet most of you right now on WhatsApp or Facebook, and you're chatting away, and then when at the end of the presentation you say, oh, I didn't understand this, because you never paid attention. Those are the things I'm talking about. They will distract you. So remove those from the gadget you use, or try to have some sort of self-discipline where you're not tempted to go online or do other things. Another thing is to turn off your cell phone and let friends and family members know the hours that you'll be available. You tell them, I'm at school right now, don't call me between these hours, and they will respect you because they know you are in school. Beware of surfing black holes of the internet. Right now, there are so many resources available to you. You could just open this link, and then another link pops up, and another one pops up, and at the end of the day, you find you've missed class, and you were just trotting the internet. So that's what they're calling this black hole of the internet. You could go and read more on it. Consider the environment in which you're in. Adjust the height of your chair to suit you, even the keyboard and screen, so that you're comfortable. Your forearms and thighs should be at a level that is parallel to the floor. Wrists shouldn't be bent when typing. So those are some of the traits to avoid wrist aches or back aches. It is the posture and the way you position yourself as you are learning. Now, you should also set a good lighting and comfortable seating. Now, lighting in the room should be at least bright enough so that you can be able to see your screen as well as your board, so that your eyes are not strained. Now, the last part of what would make you successful, you pick it from watching this video. Let's take a look and have a listen.
Having all the freedom to study online is nice, but this might make it difficult to focus and start studying. When learning online, you need to become a self-directed learner to make the most of it. Here are some tips to get you started. First, read through the syllabus. Before you start, make sure you understand the course by reading the syllabus, grading policy, and the resources. The second tip, plan your study time. Fit the course into your activities. Plan weekly study times in your calendar and tell your friends and family not to disturb you. Make sure to visit the course at least 3 times a week instead of binge watching all the videos in one go. This will help you retain information better and feel engaged. Tip 3. Actively participate in the course. Connect with fellow learners by joining in the conversation and asking and answering questions in the discussion forum. Tip 4. You can find many ways to collaborate, like joining a study group, upvoting answers you really liked, or sharing material you created for the course. A successful learner contributes to a learning community. Here's how to do that. An academic, informed debate is respectful of each other's arguments using civil discourse. Avoid negativity, such as stereotyping, discrimination, or inflammatory remarks. Give some thought to your arguments and avoid logical fallacies. Cite evidence such as sources and data to support your arguments. Make sure you follow personal online safety rules and do not share out personal details such as your email address or phone number. Now you are ready to be a successful learner. Enjoy your journey with our online course.
Okay, so thank you for being good listeners. So e-library information is